We have telepathic, so number 56. So maybe you do feel you have a very strong bond with this person, that you can almost sense them when they're coming. I was hearing that maybe even you felt that. And I know it's difficult to have that proper discernment, especially around dates like Valentine's Day, because let's face it, for as long as we are in disconnection and for as long as we are in separation, no matter how much in our divine feminine energy we are, and how much detached and in a union and anchored in our purpose and our mission, dates like anniversaries, birthdays, Valentine's Day, they always bring this hope, what if, right? So it's difficult really to feel into whether you felt it because you actually felt it, or you felt it because maybe you're even asking yourself, did I feel it because it was actually about to happen, or did I feel it because, I mean, it's Valentine's Day, so our mind always goes towards the person that we love and that lives rent free in our heart, right? But I feel that you would feel that you have this I'm looking at her like standing at a beach looking towards the sea, so maybe that's something that you do if you live, maybe a detail, if you live near sea, lake, ocean, river, some sort of a water, maybe you go for walks and oftentimes look towards the horizon and try to feel into how they feel, what were they going through whenever you're not speaking to each other. But it may be a detail that you felt, that they're about to reach out to you, that they're about to, I'm hearing knock on your door. We have karmic partners, and because that was sort of paired with that telepathy, maybe you also sense, whether you realize it or not, so really think about this, if from the beginning this reading kind of landed with you, perhaps you are sensing, maybe you're there's a reason I'm sort of on the fence. Maybe you don't even want to say it out loud, maybe you don't even want to say it out loud in your mind, but maybe you are sensing that there's still someone else in this person's life. Maybe they said something even that let's do a few more. I have a runner. We have a runner. I kind of don't like, how the description of this card. I love this deck, but this description, I just looked at it, I was like, that lacks a bit of a compassion. We have a runner, which all our masculines are because of the wounding, and it says, afraid of doing the work, selfish. Maybe you are a very compassionate person. That's why it's coming to my mind, but it's not selfish, guys. It's not selfish. It's something that we learn on this journey as we start to embody the true divine feminine energy. True divine feminine understands that whoever does things that are potentially harmful, again, I highlight this always, there is no good and evil. That's just how we decide to perceive things. Everything is truly neutral, but people that do things that potentially can be harmful for others, they don't do them, maliciously or viciously. These are the ways that they know, coming from their woundings, coming from their childhood traumas, coming from sometimes even subconsciously past life, unhealed past life. So I think maybe, you are very compassionate, which is good. Many feminines fell into the trap of really being like, he is this and that, right? So a good compassion and a big heart is always helpful on this journey, because it's not selfish. It's obviously that, if it comes down to it, what they do, they don't take you into consideration. They don't think about you and your feelings. They do something thinking about how they feel at the moment, which by definition is selfish. But they don't do it, maliciously. Sometimes as they do these things, because they subconscious patterns, because they're avoidant patterns, it hurts them the same way. And sometimes they develop this self-resentment. Oh my God, why did I do this? Why? There is realization within them that they're hurting us. But we have a runner. So he's still in the runner energy. Leo, I used to be the central focus of everyone's attention. You know what I'm hearing with this one? Jealousy. Jealousy. So maybe, it's coming to my mind. Remember we mentioned that you are acting like sort of walking on eggshells around this person, not to say something, because you've learned sort of from experience that whenever you would say something, they would get triggered and run away. So you're very self-conscious of things that you're saying and doing. And we've already established that this won't fly. It cannot be that way, right? You cannot build a relationship on that kind of a behavior. But maybe whether you know it or not, many times they run away because they're jealous. So whether that's jealousy always comes from lack of worthiness. So whether they're actually jealous of you, maybe you say something that you don't even realize because to you it's normal, things that you do or things that you've done in your life. You're just sharing like a random experience, but it's something that they never could do. They feel this jealousy and they feel this trigger. I'm gonna do one more, and then we're gonna do tarot. Spring. March 20th to May 5. Maybe that's a significant date for this collective. Maybe this is where you met, or some sort of important dates, birthdays. Sentimentality. The memories of us bring me joy but agony at the same time. I think about you continuously and you are never far from my thoughts. I do think that this is why, to be honest, what I'm feeling into, that it was an impulse. Like he reached out. He's not near ready. He's not in his masculine energy. Whatever he said, however he appeared, you filtered his behavior through for your own shadows. You're trying to make the shoe fit. I'm feeling that, the magic of the February, the Valentine's Day, the month of love, the in-between cycles energies that are very intense right now, it may be adding to a bit of that fog. The memories of each other pushed him to reach out. Let's do tarot. Let's maybe do his energy. And then we're going to do some guidance for you. The energy of our beautiful masculine. Oof. Hold on, this was the first one. Oh. One more. Okay. Okay. I do feel that what happened was, on an impulse, in the center of his spread, he has the tower. Tower moment, although extremely necessary in our life, moments that bring destruction, that bring pain, that bring, it's this, literally tower is crumbling because it didn't have firm foundation. This is where we go through illnesses, we lose jobs, we karmic relationships are completely removed from our life. Although it brings pain, these are extremely purifying moments and necessary energies. And when we grow and heal on this journey, we reach levels of consciousness where we understand these moments are necessary, and we train ourselves in our minds to look at those moments with gratitude. If it's coming, I understand it's bringing purification, right? So he's definitely not there, but I was explaining the tower moment to you to say something very important. Although these moments are purifying, cleansing, beautiful, necessary to connect to our dharmic path, we cannot build anything on those moments. These are moments that when they're happening, we have to stop, we have to reflect, we have to learn, and we have to rebuild better this time so it doesn't crumble next time, so the foundation is solid, right? But when these moments happen, we oftentimes, because we're sitting in pain, because we're sitting in that unhappiness, we oftentimes with our mind and our memory go towards happy places, happy moments, happy people who soothe us. And it's coming to my mind, it's there's urgency at the bottom of the deck. What's coming to my mind is that oftentimes in the beginning, maybe there was a reason that I was blabbing so much about the selfishness. Maybe he is a little selfish right now, and all masculines, they truly are. Again, we have to have compassion because it's coming from a place of wounding. But in the beginning, this is how it usually happens. When in the beginning, right, of this journey, whether we're in and out or in the beginning of separation, when they're going through a happy moment, they don't think of us. They don't run to us. They don't need us. Oftentimes, it's the moments of the tower when they're going through pain, when they had the most horrible day at work, when they felt some sort of a humiliation. This is where they've been drawn to us, because subconsciously they don't understand that, but we have the power to heal each other. We have the power to heal them, to take away the pain, especially that the feminine in the connection, because of the design of our body, we are the one that receives. So if they are filled with pain, with emotions, with trauma, with grief, whatever that is, in a moment of togetherness, in a sense of usually intimacy, they actually put all that emotion into us. It's going to come back to them, obviously, because I say it to you guys as a mantra. Whatever kind of a practice that takes away your pain without removing the root cause, it will always return. But momentarily, they feel amazing and we feel like crap. This is why oftentimes it really does happen that in and out, or in moments of intimacy, us feminines, we take all the gunk from around their sacral chakra, and we feel the traumas, the emotions, and we feel horrible. Sometimes we even physically get sick. Whereas they momentarily, again, feel like they're on top of the world. This is why I also say, don't run into intimacy until there's no commitment, until there's no, right? Especially in the beginning when it's all so crazy, when it's all so flaky. But true divine masculine, with this tower moment, true divine masculine understands that if I ever want to build something tangible with this woman, my divine counterpart, it cannot be a decision made on an impulse. Because I feel like crap, because I had a bad day at work, because my boss said something to me, because I had a discussion with with a family member. It has to, true masculine, yes, he listens to intuition. It's the journey of King of Wands that I always tell you guys about, right? So once you're King of Wands, you understand that you have to follow your passion, your intuition. You have to work with ignition. You have to work with, right, this desire that comes from the soul. But the maturity of a king needs to be added to it. So your words have to match your actions. You have to follow through with your promises. You actually have to have a future focus. But before they get there, they're in a Knight of Wands energy, which is acting on an impulse. I want her now. Because I feel lonely, because I feel bad, because it's Valentine's Day, I miss her, oh my God, right? And again, they might not consciously think that they're acting selfish. They may think that they act from a place of passion, right? And they just don't think. They just don't think, right? But ultimately, true divine masculine, when he comes in, it's because although he may understand and realize that I'm not yet perfect, I'll never be, because perfection is just an illusion. I know I'm ready to stay. Readiness to stay is all we want, to do the work. In togetherness, not in opposition, right? So I feel like something happened in his life that triggered emotions, that triggered, maybe I'm hearing even some childhood woundings. I'm also hearing that it may be that it's triggered a bit of a lack of self-esteem, and he wanted to make him, it's a sad truth to swallow, but it is the truth, and I'm going to share it with you because this is what I'm hearing, that sometimes when they feel like in life they faced with the tower that is making them feel humiliated, rejected, abandoned, small, they run to us because they've already learned through how we treat them that we're never going to say no, that we're always going to accept them, that we're always going to heal them, that we're always going to be there for them, because we have no self-love and no boundaries because we are wounded. So to make themselves feel better, they run to us because we have the capacity to make them feel like that king, like you're on top of the world. I want to confirm, because there is some sort of a transformation happening right now. Hold on. As it was falling, I felt I had it and I lost it because it was on a table and then it slipped. Did you see that? Maybe that's like a bit of that energy, like I had it, right? It's again, in the beginning, we act like hunters. Feminine is not the hunter, it's the masculine. You cannot think, damn, he came in and I almost had him and then I had to say something and then we start walking on eggshells. No! I am who I am. You either are a man and you make a conscious choice that you want to stay, or don't waste my time. 9 of Wands. I feel like this is why I was talking so much about this selfishness. Is he selfish? Yes. Is he conscious that he's selfish? No. Is all his intentions selfish and mean? No. He may be acting from a good and pure intention. He may be unaware of certain patterns. He's definitely unaware of certain patterns. But in the end, he ends up acting in a way that is selfish. And sometimes intentions are not enough. When we are not self-conscious, when we're not self-aware, when we don't realize our own patterns that we're repeating, we don't know ourselves, our intentions really, really don't matter. Where I come from, we say that intentions are building blocks of hell. It's true. I mean, hell doesn't exist, but you know what I mean. Yeah, and unfortunately, I feel something happened in his life that undermined his self-esteem even more, undermined his independence. Maybe he had to borrow money from someone. I just heard it. May be a detail just for some of you. Like maybe, you know, he screwed up and he needed to pay something that he didn't have the money for, so he had to loan from someone that you know, maybe makes him feel like either a family member or someone that makes like, I'm going to help you, but I'm going to make you feel so small with that help. Do you know what I mean? It just came to my mind. So something happened that really triggered. He would feel humiliated, unworthy, just tired, and his mind went to you. And I don't think he actually was acting on this conscious thought of, I'm going to reach out to her, she's going to make me feel better. I feel in his mind he was thinking, when something like this happens, my mind and my heart goes to this woman, so maybe there's something in it. Maybe I can build something. Maybe I can just be a little bit better, work on myself, transform, change, build something more tangible. So I don't think that the intention was low vibrational in the sense of was bad, right? But again, he's not even realizing. Sorry, maybe you're just yawning. That was weird. 6 of Cups. Yeah, I feel, let me do one more. So the situation that I described to you, it may be just an example for some of you. It may be just a very specific example for just some from this collective, that he actually, screwed up financially. He needed to be rescued, and someone in his family rescued him, but in the same time made him feel so small. But if that's not actually the case, it's going to be something of a similar sort. So something happened that make him feel like this, what's the word, like the person that cannot fix it on their own, like a little child, like I cannot find a solution, like very small, very insignificant, very humiliated. And I think it triggered some sort of a childhood memories. There was a lot of lack of worthiness, lack of self-love, humility, humiliation, and he felt like he was dealing with too much. And again, his mind went towards you, so he reached out. I'm going to do a couple of these. Oh, you know what? No, let's maybe do these. Let's do some guidance for you, and we're going to start from these that I was thinking of them. Guidance for you. Guidance for you whenever this video finds you. Yeah. Not sure whether you're going to be able... Codependency at the bottom of the deck. So this collective, I feel like you're going to be... There's a reason, if you're watching, that this found you, to help you go through this, because it's going to be extremely difficult and challenging for you. When we are either in and out or in separation, the feelings that we feel towards our divine counterpart, our masculine, they're so profound. We're so isolated on this journey. We cannot talk to anyone about this, because people either think we're crazy, or most people usually say to us, yeah, I've been through same, because they don't understand what true twin souls, twin flames really are. And 90% of people confuses it with karmic connection, which is a connection that most of us had at one point of our life. So it's really hard to find the belief and the trust within ourselves, but this is specifically designed for the feminine to teach herself to look inwards for the answers. So if in fact what we tapped already, so he came in, whether that's a little bit before Valentine's or actually on Valentine's, he came in, whether you're still in contact, I don't think it's going to last a very long time. Something's going to happen, and it's going to be a very challenging lesson for you. You may doubt, You may doubt that this connection is true. You may start to think, how can he be doing these things? How can this be the other half of my soul and he does these things to me? Because we see things from our perspective, right? This is why these readings, kind of what's going on in both energies, are so helpful to understand each other on this journey, because our conditioned mind analyzes the situation with a very cold eye. So he came in, he wanted to see me around Valentine's, and then he disappeared again. I mean, who does this? It's another level of cruelty. Who does this? And we start to doubt if it's really this big of a love, if it's really the other half of me. How could he do this to me? Right? But what we don't see, that the intention might have been pure, that he really maybe wanted. But then that trigger, then that automated pattern kicked back in, and he just couldn't push through. Avoidance is such a difficult pattern confirmation to overcome, because when fear comes in, you literally feel like, like sometimes they're bringing an analogy to my mind, so maybe it's going to help you to understand. Like sometimes they show someone like walking through, crossing the railway, right? And like the trails, and they see, or even the street, and the car is going straight towards you, right? So we would say, oh my God, why are you not running away? Take action. But you paralyzed with fear. You see the lights, you hear the vehicle approaching, whether that's a train, but you can't move. These people are always paralyzed. And that's how it works. It's like he wants to say something. He wants to do something. He wants to speak to you. But the fear of the avoidance, the trauma that was never healed, loved, and attended, paralyzes him. But we don't see it, because on the other hand, we're completely anxious. And we think to ourselves how difficult it is to send someone a message. Sorry, changed my mind. What else? Or how difficult it is not to send a message on Monday, knowing that you are not going to see me on Tuesday, right? But it's not that easy. So whatever you're going through, just trust. Trust. You have true love. This is your first card. This is true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. No one said it would be easy. This journey is such a gift. It brings so much pain, but we learn on this journey at some point that this is a self-perpetuating pain, self-perpetuating loop that we bring upon ourselves. What hurts is not love, is expectation, is wounds, is loneliness, is longing. That's what hurts. Your second card is you deserve love. And I was thinking with, remember how we said that you would walk on eggshells around this person? So the moment they disappear, if they haven't already, maybe you're going to think to yourself, what did I do wrong again? Why did I say what I said? Why did I do? But don't do this to yourself. You couldn't build a relationship with a partner that you have to be 100% conscious and cautious with what you're saying. When you want to express yourself authentically, speak what's on your mind. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. And we go there because, again, we see each other on a pedestal. To us, to the feminist, the masculine, he's the smartest, he's the sexiest, he's the most intelligent, he's the most amazing. We just see him as like the Superman kind of right? And we feel like, oh my God, I did something wrong. I'm not worthy. Like, he's just probably like, right? But they think the same way. It's not you. It's the shadows. You're worthy of love. You already have his love. It's not like we fall in love with each other. We remember that we shared this love for the beginnings of times. It's eternal. I have as well express your love in heart-to-heart conversation, which is making me feel, this is why I said, as I was, doing this spread, it's going to be difficult for you, I feel. But I feel whether you know it or not, you still wear a mask. He comes in and you're not being yourself. You're not being authentic. Maybe it's not that you're lying. This is why some feminines, confuse it, because when I say this on sessions, they would say to me, but I'm not lying. I didn't say anything that I didn't feel or think. Okay, you're not lying, but you're not being you. You're not